What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Entrepreneur's Playbook, where we help 7- and 8-figure business owners ignite their financial superpowers. Josh Bowerly here with Ron Parisi. Ron, for another episode this week.
All right, let's do it, Josh. Yeah, here we are starting 2025, a brand new year. I know a lot of folks in the online space are super busy this time of year, but I think it's well worth a visit down, the relationship you have with your financial professional, with your accountant, with your CPA. I thought, you brought up a couple interesting points earlier in our private discussion. I definitely think that the audience would love to hear about. So go ahead. I'll let you start.
Yeah. So, this is the kind of time of year where a lot of people are coming to us and saying, hey, it's tax time. I need my tax return filed. And you kind of find out that in the past, all they've really done is, here's my tax documents. Their tax professional fills out the tax form, sends it back to them, tells them what they owe or what they get back. And that. They don't think about it again until next January. And CPA on Fire, we like to do things much differently. We like to form that relationship with them. So maybe we could talk about what a concierge type service looks like for CPA on Fire clients and how we prefer to work with them and kind of how that we see that separating from so much of this industry.
Yeah. I guess the first thing is, right, financial operations are instrumental in your success as a business owner. Your main job is to grow the business profitably, to bring the money down, have a thriving organization, potentially, a strong exit plan, right? So those are goals. And I think a lot of people miss that, having a very strong financial team is an investment in the success of your business. It should not be looked at as sort of like at the end of the circus, the guy's cleaning up and telling you, how you did. Like, you should be proactively working, right, with your financial professional, forward looking, right? So you should, right, at this point now, we're in 2025. You should already have a budget, a 12-month budget for 25, already sculpted out. You should have a 5-year potentially long-term vision about where you want to take the business. Maybe you should have, depending on your age and your interests, maybe you have an exit plan in the back of your mind, but these things should already happen by January. And then what is different about CPA on Fire? Super forward-looking, super proactive on really two fronts. One is, like I mentioned, having that budget already laid out. How are you going to 2x the business, 30% growth, 5x, 10x the business? That's already laid out. You know what the revenue streams are. You know exactly what you need to do. The expenses, or rather the investments that you need to make, right, to get there. That's all laid out in front of you. And then working with your CPA on Fire with our team is like every month you're looking at what you did compared to what you thought you did. Instead of like, what did I do last January? What did I do last month? Like, that's helpful to a certain degree, but it's all about, if you really want to grow and you want to grow profitably, you got to be intentional about that. And what does that look like, right? That you mentioned that word concierge, that means like customized plan for you, working with you to drive the growth and the profitability of your business, right? And that's on the accounting side. And then, we do analytics behind it, looking at profit drivers, looking at ROIs of different investments, marketing team, et cetera. But really, it's that forward-looking, monthly, course correct, always being intentional about how you're driving the business. And then on the second piece, right, that tax plan, like you mentioned, right, is that people come to us and they're so used to this, transactional relationship with their tax professional. Hey, I give them my books and records. They produce a tax return. There is so much. There's a whole industry on tax strategies. There's so much that you can do. And where I think we excel is because very few firms do the accounting and the tax planning. Like a lot of firms do the bookkeeping and then the tax return at the end. But to marry both that intentional, forward-looking approach on the accounting side with that same thing on the tax side. So as you grow, as your company grows, Josh, right, new strategies become available, and we know that it's happening. We know it's going to happen, and we anticipate it. So the whole plan, what I call long-term tax planning, like 5-year tax plan. This is where, your growth, this is where your income is going to be year 1, year 2, year 3. So we know what strategies we're going to start implementing during those times. And of course, right, everything's subject to change, but again, being intentional both on the accounting side and on the tax side, I think is really the important piece. So anything you want to add from maybe your perspective?
Yeah, I think two things there. Number one, I think we do get people, entrepreneurs especially, get so caught up in the tax side of things, and they're so worried about that. And that's when they come to us, is during tax time. But I think the fact that you brought up the accounting side first, I think that's so much more important. The fact that you're working with someone throughout the year to look at that, to plan out, to budget, to look at it month to month, see where you're at and see where you missed. We could work with whoever it is, CPA Empire, whoever, and they help you 2x your revenue. I mean, that's massively more important than even if they could cut 50% off your tax bill, right? But we're so worried about what they can do for our tax bill normally that we're
Right.
not thinking about the even more important, what can they do for our actual business? So I think that's something a lot of people don't think about, that a CPA service can help them with. But then on the
Not o-
tax side, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
no, I was just saying not only 2x their top line, but maybe 4x their bottom line. Right.
Well, yeah, it's all, I mean, every part of that, it's massively more important than how much can you cut off my tax bill.
Right.
But taxes are important. I don't want to minimize that. Some people are writing big fat tax checks that they don't want to write. And the problem is they come to us sometimes in January, February as a new client and say, hey, I want you to lower this tax bill. But at that point, it's like, what? Okay, what, contribute to your IRA. Like, we're limited. When they come to us after the year,
Handcuffed.
and we're very limited on what we can suggest. Whereas our clients that are working with us throughout the year, like you said, we have a plan not only for that year, for 3 years, 5 years, the life of their business. We have a massive tax strategy that they know that they're paying the lowest taxes that they possibly can while still fitting with the needs of their business, right? And helping their business grow. So yeah, I think on both fronts, it's so important to find that relationship that you can work with throughout the entire year.
And I mean, this, I've been doing this for a long time, right? My conclusion is like the more the entrepreneur, you know, knows exactly what they need to do to drive the success of the business and then allow them time to do it. And what I mean by that, right, the more successful they're going to be, right? That's the key to success that I see, is that, from a financial perspective, knowing what's working so that the entrepreneur can know, okay, this is where I need to hit the gas. This is where I need to spend my time because this is what's working. This is what's producing results. Like, you can't figure that out in December. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, it's got to be done month to month. And then two is that, like, the concierge piece, knowing it's all taken care of. You don't have to be reading. You don't have to be like at cocktail hours figuring out like, oh, this guy said that he took advantage of this tax break, right? It's like knowing this, like, it's just peace of mind. It's already taken care of, right? Again, buying yourself back time to work, in your business, on your business, to really drive the results. Like, I wish I could explain it better to entrepreneurs and the importance of it. But in a nutshell, that's, from my perspective, helping entrepreneurs for such a long time, that's where it's all, that's where the secret sauce is.
Yeah. And I think it surprised people to know how much or how little our most successful clients actually talk to us about taxes, because we have this plan in place that's just being done for them throughout the year. So we don't have to come to them and be like, hey, here's this massive thing we're going to do right now today that's just catches everyone completely by surprise. Like, we know throughout the year, obviously, unexpected things come up, and there's things that maybe we can take advantage of unexpectedly. But for the most part, that foundation is in place to minimize their taxes, to have them operating as efficiently as possible.
I'll just tell you a funny story. I was at, this retreat a few weeks back, and I'm one of the few CPAs. It's all from people from all different industries, all, all CEOs, owners, founders of their business. And it was just funny. There's like some very successful people in the group. And who do you think like cornered me, one of the only CPA in the group? It was like the three top people, in the group, I would say, success wise, financially, cornered me and was just peppering me with questions about, right, financial, tax. So it's just like, that's not a coincidence. It's like the people who are most successful are really tuned in to their financial operations. And I thought that was it was kind of a cool thing, like reflecting on it when I left. I was like, that's really funny that like the three people who probably are just absolutely crushing it the most are the three people that really wanted to talk about, financial operations, about, things happening in their business financially and what to do about it. And so I thought that was like a testament to, the success. The people who are really tuned in to the financial success of their business are usually the ones making the biggest leaps.
Yeah, I mean, you hear it all the time. Success is boring. Boring is you're interested in talking to your CPA about this stuff that most people just yawn at.
Right, right. No. I mean, it was like we got into like really in-depth budgeting and how to go about budgeting and stuff like that. So it was really cool. So, but anyway, hey, always a pleasure being with you, Josh. Got another one in the books. Until next time, any concluding thoughts, any words of wisdom for 2025?
Yeah, this is the time. Instead of talking to your tax professional or your accounting professional about 2024, start talking about 2025. Get it right. Get someone that can do all this that we're talking about for you.
Yeah, as I say, 2025 and beyond, and obviously CPA on Fire. You can look us up online, just CPA on Fire or CPAonfire.com. Always a pleasure being with you. Next time, Josh.
Yep. See you next time.
Yeah, bye now.